I want to thank all of the donors that are here at this particular event because it's very, very important. And as we look forward, we need more and more donors. And thank you all to all the donors. And in that regard, if I would like to have all of the donors or stewards that are here, if you wouldn't just mind standing up for it, and let's give them a round of applause. Please stand up. So we do have a lot of scholarship donors here, scholarship awardees here as well. Would all of the people who have received a scholarship please stand up at this point in time? Fabulous. I'd also like to recognize some people who are here. The foundation board does work very hard to make sure we're investing the money right, generating funds, and doing a lot of different kind of programs. One of the things I'm particularly proud of is over the last 4 years we have developed a grant program where we're giving $100,000 a year through 4 different grants to different activities. They apply for it. It's something we want to continue to do, and we do have an endowment started like that, so if anybody has a few extra bucks and wants to put some money in that endowment, we'd be pleased to do that. But I'd like the members of the board of the Towson University Foundation are here. Would you mind standing up and being recognized? Thank you for all the hard work that you do. So there's other people I want to thank, including the President's Council members, college deans and interim deans. Thank you for everything you do with. We have a number of those people here today. Would you mind standing up and being recognized? Thank you very much. So, Kim Schatzel is the president of our great university and has done a fabulous job in doing many things. And you know all those cranes that are out there in Towson, that she always likes to talk about that. We should be very proud of it. Kim, please come forward and make your remarks.
I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. As we said, it's been 3 years since we've been able to gather together, so it's nice to be able to have everybody back in place to be able to have this celebration this evening. It's a wonderful opportunity for us to reflect on Towson University's momentum, the success of our amazing students, and how our community of supporters have played such an important role in helping us fulfill our mission as a university. I want to thank all of our university and board members for their leadership, their counsel and support during the last 2 years that have been particularly difficult. I want to make sure that I recognize especially Foundation Board President Bill Murray. Bill, where are you? Where'd you go? I just have to say the fact that, Bill, your leadership has been transformational in terms of your presidency. I can't say that we wouldn't be where we are and the results and the achievements that you identified and that you articulated. I have to tell everyone the fact that your leadership has contributed greatly to those outcomes. I want to thank you personally, and I want to thank you for your leadership role that you've played, but also as a dear friend. So please, thank you very much. Everybody give Bill a round of applause. I won't make the board members stand up again, but I do want to thank all the members of the Foundation Board for their service, as well as for my senior leadership team. As you're all aware, just over a year ago, as we said, in fact, it's like a year and 2 weeks, we publicly launched the campaign RISE, which is the campaign for Towson University. Today we've earned and raised more than $80 million towards our goal of $100 million. Yes. And that goal and those funds are going to be used to be able to support student success, scholarship, research, and program that advances our university's mission. And everyone that is here tonight has been a huge part of that achievement. So will you please give yourselves just another round of applause? As we said, TU is a university on the rise. It's an anchor institution in our state and national leader in inclusive excellence and student success. And I have to tell you, our momentum is on display each and every day. When you got here this evening, if you came in by the Union Garage, you might have seen those cranes, as Bill mentioned, and I have to tell you, it warms the president's heart to see cranes. And what it is an indication of the confidence that the state and the legislature and the governor and the Board of Regents have for this institution and its impact. So our new College of Health Professions, which is where those cranes are right now, is rising from the ground. And by 2024 will be the singular home for the college, which is the largest provider of healthcare professionals in our state. On the other side of campus, we're nearing completion of our first renovation of Glen Towers, those really attractive Glen Towers that are now starting to look much better than they used to be. This project, of course, modernizes one of our largest residential spaces on campus. And right here, is this space gorgeous or what? Yeah, just absolutely fantastic. Right here, the University Union expansion is complete, and we're now renovating the original side of the building. In total, this new hub brings more than 225,000 square feet of student-facing space to our student life district right here in the heart of campus. It replaces the original Union, built in the 70s, when our student population was only 9,000 students. Today, we're home to more than 20,000 learners who go past this building every single day, and boy, did we need that space. So it's just terrific to be able to have these spaces come in place. And then last year, as you know, we dedicated our new science complex, our largest academic building on campus, as well as the startup, which is in the Armory in Uptown Towson, which is our business engagement center and our work with entrepreneurship as well. So much is going on, but I just want to make sure that I mention that TU is more than just buildings and programs. TU is about the amazing people that are part of our community. With us tonight are some of Towson University's most generous supporters. I'm fortunate to be sitting at a table with Roberta Collard, class of 1969, and her husband Greg, representing the Collard Foundation, which recently gave a record-setting $3 million grant to provide support for major initiatives in health professions and education, including scholarship support for students in our You Teach program who are sitting with us tonight. So Roberta and Greg, I just want to thank you, and you can see the impact that you've made sitting at our table tonight. A round of applause, please. We have more difference makers as well. We have supporters who are just beginning their philanthropic journey. John Eubank IV, is he sitting here? There he is. And look at, he's walking right across so we can all see him. John, I'm going to give a shout out to you. John is an alumnus of the class of 2009. He's the youngest alumnus to create and fully fund an endowed scholarship with the TU Foundation. John, you deserve a round of applause. Many of our scholarship stewardees in attendance here honor the memory of loved ones. Reverend Deborah Stowers has journeyed from South Dakota to be with us here tonight. Can she please stand? Reverend Stowers? Earlier this year, she established the Reverend Ted W. Stowers Scholarship to honor her husband's memory and to support returning students who are pursuing a new career path to lead a happier, healthier, and more productive life. Thank you so much, Reverend, for doing this in memory of your husband. I'm also honored to welcome the family of Officer Amy Sorel Caprio. And where are they seated? There you are. As we know, that Officer Caprio was a member of the class of 2010 who died in the line of duty, protecting and serving the citizens of Maryland. And She was a Baltimore County police officer in May 2018. Her family and friends created the Amy Sorel Caprio Scholarship to support students who are or whose immediate family member served as first responders. Thank you for doing this in memory of your most amazing daughter. More than half of our full-time undergraduate students demonstrate financial need. And for those that receive aid, the average unmet need is nearly $12,000. And that's where we continue to need donor support. Your contributions, everyone that is sitting here that we're recognizing tonight, help our students engage and explore in ways that they couldn't if they did not have this kind of support. So you make this happen with everything that you provide and allow these opportunities for our students to be realized. To our other scholarship recipients, you're an example to all students. I want to encourage you, having benefited from the generosity of others, to please pay this forward so that you can too support students just like you in years to come. So remember the generosity that you received and what it allowed you to do, and when it's your time, contribute back to Towson to be able to support classmates that come after you. It's a reminder that I want to be able to give you. So in closing, I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight, for encouraging and supporting the power of learning, and for our most amazing students to be successful. And as I always close in saying, there is much to be proud of at Towson University, and working together, there are indeed even greater things ahead. Thank you very much, everyone.
I'm pleased to introduce David Diaz, the class of 1999, and a donor to the Rita, Lynn, Diaz Business and Economics Memorial Scholarship. It was created in 2019 to honor his mother's memory. This scholarship provides funding for an incoming freshman enrolled in the College of Business and Economics and is renewable for 4 years. David, a Baltimore native and a TU alumnus and a longtime employee of the excellent Constellation Family and Companies, where he is the chief audit executive. We always like to have one of the donors make a presentation, and David, you've been selected. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you. Please come forward.
Good evening, everyone. I'm really honored and humbled to be here this evening. I'd like to thank Towson for allowing me to share a little bit of my story with all of you this evening. Hopefully it'll be a bit of an encouragement to those in the room as well. I thought I was going to be the interactive portion of the program tonight, but we've already done a lot of standing and sitting, so maybe I'll just ask for some hand raises to start. If you are a first-generation college student or graduate, can you please raise your hand? It's a lot of people. If at least one of your parents or grandparents didn't graduate from high school, please raise your hand. Also a lot of people. We share this, obviously, and it's an important element of who I am and my journey and my story as well. And I'll share a little bit more about that as I go through tonight. I'm lucky I had two incredible parents who loved me dearly and were always there for me. Unfortunately, I lost my mother 18 years ago to a heart attack at the young age of 55. She saw way more potential in me than I ever saw in myself. I'm very thankful for the encouragements that she gave me from a very young age. My father did not graduate from high school. He had an undiagnosed hearing disability that made it extremely difficult for him to be able to learn while he was growing up. He was also an immigrant, so he moved to the States with two parents who did not speak any English, who demanded that they assimilate. And that was a little bit of a challenge for someone who couldn't hear. And so school was extremely hard for him. And so when he got into high school, he decided that that was not the path for him, and he dropped out and started working. And he's by far the hardest working person I've ever met. When I was growing up, he had at least 2 jobs most of my life. In some cases, he had 3. But never sacrificed being there for everything I did. And he worked that hard all those years to earn this honest day's living, to be able to clothe me, put shelter and food on the table, and be proud of the life he was delivering to his wife, my mother, and myself. For some of you, Towson might not have been your first choice. It was not mine. Towson chose me through a scholarship that enabled me to come here and learn and grow as an individual. And based on the conversations that I've had tonight with some of the folks at the table with me, I can see how much you're growing. And I expect you will all have great careers and lives ahead of you as well. When I was at Towson, there were so many things I didn't understand. I didn't have parents that could help me navigate college. Were not able to help prepare me for the corporate world, which was not even the world that I expected to go into. When I came to Towson and entered in the accounting program, I actually planned to get into law enforcement. I wanted to join the FBI, and life corrected my direction, redirected me towards corporate America, primarily as a result of my high school girlfriend, who became my fiance, and now my wife for the last 21 years, almost 22. I can even remember how unprepared I was, and actually being here tonight at this dinner reminded me of my very first fancy meal that I had to go out to. I'm not sure if this still happens this way, but accounting firms would pick you up in limos to try to recruit you. And so I was picked up, taken to a fancy restaurant, sat down in front of all these forks, knives, spoons, cups, plates. I had no idea what the hell I was supposed to do. And so the life that I've fallen into, the success that I've been able to garner, was not meant for me. But I'm incredibly thankful for the opportunities that have been provided to me. When my father retired a couple of years ago, after working for 57 years, I wanted to honor his tremendous amount of hard work and effort and love that he bestowed upon me and that my mother bestowed upon me. And I decided that the way to do that was to give back and to establish this scholarship. So now I'm going to switch directions on everyone a little bit. And I'm going to ask you a question, another question. How many people, if I asked you to quit everything you were doing, follow me to try to solve world hunger? Raise your hand if you're willing to follow me trying to solve world hunger. Be honest, don't lie. There's a few hands that went up. Okay. So every now and then I like to walk around different communities and just talk to people. And I recently ran into a gentleman named Sam in our community here. And Sam's homeless, and Sam is hungry. And so I'm going to ask you another question. How many of you are willing tonight to walk with me to meet Sam and help meet his need and feed him this evening? Raise your hand if you're willing to help me on that one. A lot more hands have gone up for that one. Why is that? Well, it's probably because the concept of trying to solve world hunger is an immeasurable task very difficult to see how you would go about doing that. It's probably hard to get around that, wrap your mind around that. But when I introduce an individual, someone you know you can help, a lot more people are going to say, let's go do that. Let's make that happen. And so for me, establishing this scholarship fundamentally is tied to that. I truly believe if you can help one person in the hopes that that one person will help somebody else, we can help many people by just helping that one person. So I ask everybody in this room, regardless of age, status, what you have in front of you, to not run away from the big problems we face as a society, as a country, as a global community, because they do seem impossible to fix. But I ask you to look for that opportunity to help one person and know that if you're successful, you will end up helping many. Thank you all again for allowing me to be here tonight. If there's anything I can do to help anybody in this room, please don't hesitate to connect with me. I would love to be able to do so if there's something I can do. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
What a story. And I know there are other stories like that in this room. And for everybody that has one of those stories, do the best you can and do whatever you can. So anyway, what I'd like to do now is welcome our student speakers, Kristin, Austin, and Grace. And each one of them is going to tell you a little about their story.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here as we celebrate our scholarship recipients, our very generous donors, and everyone in the Towson University Foundation family who works hard every day to make sure that Towson is a welcoming, successful, and thriving community for us all. My name is Kristen Giddings. I'm a senior psychology and family science double major and sociology minor in the Honors College here at Towson University. And I'm so excited and honored to have the opportunity to tell you a little bit about how Towson has shaped my life over the last 4 years. So when I started out at Towson, I was told very early on that one of the biggest predictors of success in college are the connections that you build. But as a freshman, this was really hard for me to comprehend. I was focused on things like grades and GPA, and surely if I focused on those, I would be successful. I had to be. What I didn't know is that going through college and focusing only on grades is like driving down the highway and looking only at the speedometer. Sure, you're gonna get somewhere, but who knows where you'll end up. So as I take a look back on my last 4 years, I can't forget everybody who helped me hit the road. First and foremost, I want to thank the Towson University Foundation for providing me with everything I needed to be successful through the Hoke L. Smith Scholarship Endowment and the Towson Foundation Scholarship Endowment. At the onset of my college career, they handed me the keys, gave me a full tank of gas, and told me to chase down my dreams of college success and graduate school. And I knew that I had everything I needed to be successful. My journey was beginning. It was only a matter of putting it to use. So when you start out college, there's a lot of opportunities and possibilities, and it's hard to know where to turn. Luckily, there are road signs everywhere, and all you need to do to find them is look up. My first experience with this was in the Honors College at Towson. The Towson University Honors College is a community of people who reach out their hands with guidance and support. And I knew even before my first class, after freshman orientation, that there was a community of students and faculty and administrators who were here to point me in the right direction and encourage me to keep going. This was a community that I could thrive in, a community that I felt comfortable and safe, and I felt like I belonged. And so to give back, I became an honors recruitment officer and orientation mentor to help the next generation of Towson Tigers chart their path. And we know that every good trip requires a good navigator. I found that in my faculty mentors, Dr. Blair Weidler, Dr. Jared Bach, and Dr. Bethany Willis-Hepp, who guided me first and then taught me how to read the signs for myself, so that once I leave Towson, I can go as far as my dreams allow. And I always knew as a freshman that I wanted to be involved in research, but I didn't know where to begin. I didn't know how to start. So after taking a class with Dr. Weidler, I joined her cognitive psychology lab and began doing visual attention research. Here I learned all about the joys of running participants, analyzing data, and learning how to problem solve and troubleshoot challenges as a team. I learned from people who were older and knew more than me and were all too delighted to teach me their ways. And so I'm thankful to these people because my advisors and the people that I've met along the way were integral in helping me pave the road to success. Under their guidance, I developed my own undergraduate honors thesis, which looks at how personal perceptions of safety and perpetrator race influence legal judgments. This research has now been presented university-wide, regionally, and nationally at conferences. And I have won the Towson University Research Impact Award for my work on this project. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. With the help of my advisors, they allowed me to take the wheel myself and create something that I can be proud of. And so along with this project and their guidance, I was able to gain admission into my dream graduate program. So this fall, I will be attending Arizona State University to pursue my doctorate in psychology and law with a fully funded offer. Thank you again. Thank you. In the future, I intend to pursue a career in teaching and research where I can impact students and the broader field of psychology through the contribution of scholarly work. It is this research in psychology and law that I hope to do, which builds the groundwork for evidence-based practice and policy reform in the justice system. So now, as I see graduation and my future up ahead, I have the opportunity to look in the rearview mirror and see the people that I've met, the connections that I've built, and the tracks I leave behind. I am forever grateful for the people that I've met along the way and the guidance of my mentors who encouraged me to succeed and are now pushing me into my future. And I will not quickly forget those who have helped me along the way. Of course, once again, I would like to send the largest thank you to the Towson University Foundation and the friends and family of Hoke L. Smith. None of this would have been possible without their support and their encouragement in showing me that my future is a wide open highway full of possibilities and potentials. Thank you again so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Austin Raymond. I'm a junior in the Honors College, majoring in mathematics, concentrating in actuarial science and risk management, and double minoring in computer science and business analytics. And didn't expect that. As a recipient of the Jordan Feder Memorial Endowed Scholarship, I would really like to extend my gratitude and praise towards Mr. and Mrs. Feder and all of the donors and leaders here tonight who serve the TU Family Network and the TU Foundation. Your generosity greatly supports the well-being and development of the Towson University students, such as me, not only financially, but also in our academic and professional endeavors as well. I am very grateful for the opportunity to have been chosen. Since earning my first TU Foundation scholarship in 2019, I've won over 12 internal and external scholarships sponsored by organizations such as the Wholesale and Specialty Insurance Association, the International Association of Black Actuaries, the Spencer Educational Foundation, the Actuarial Foundation, and the Ford Foundation. Through these scholarships and other opportunities, I've been able to network with, connect, and learn from industry professionals and like-minded, motivated students from all across the country. Earning these scholarships has provided me with very positive feedback that what I am doing is the right things to do and that I'm on the right path. It reassures me that the work that I put in is valuable and keeps me motivated. TU Foundation scholarships have been absolutely wonderful in helping my family and I financially, especially as an out-of-state student from Michigan. Financial assistance helps to ease financial burdens, reduces angst and anxiety regarding fees and costs, and allows us to be fully present and fully focusing on our studies. For me, this has meant completing internship experiences at Travelers Insurance as an actuarial leadership development program intern in the construction actuarial team, Arch Insurance as an actuarial intern under the healthcare liability team, and an incoming actuarial internship with Verisk Analytics in the auto team. Through these opportunities, I have gained and will continue to gain foundational actuarial skills and enhanced business and technical acumen, and further develop my skills as a leader and diversity, equity, inclusion advocate. In choosing my career path of actuarial science, I was very surprised to discover that virtually no one really understands what an actuary is, and that less than 2% of actuaries globally are Black. So obtaining that information was the genesis of my Banneker Theorem passion project, named after Benjamin Banneker, a Black mathematician who helped to design the urban plan of Washington, D.C. The goal of the Banneker Theorem is to inform young African Americans about the legacy of Blacks in mathematics and to increase awareness about mathematical and actuarial careers. I've created an Instagram blog for the Banneker Theorem where I highlight hidden figures in the mathematical sciences. I've also created a website called The Black Mathematician, which provides information about the origins of math in Africa, unsung pioneers, career paths, and professional organizations. And as a leader in the field of actuarial science, I will continue to expand my Banneker Theorem passion project to help mentor aspiring Black actuarial and mathematics students. I eventually plan to create my own scholarship for the Banneker Theorem for aspiring actuaries who have persevered through struggles, whether financial, familial, societal, or personal. In closing, I would again like to sincerely thank everyone responsible for making the TU Foundation scholarships possible. I would also like to quote a verse from Luke 12, "To whom much is given, much is expected," and I can promise that I will continue to pay it forward. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Grace Wison. This past December, I had the honor and privilege of graduating from Towson University with my bachelor's degree in nursing. In August of last year, I woke up to an email stating that I had received the Jude Jahar Nursing Scholarship. Jude Jahar was a Towson University student with the dream of someday becoming an oncology nurse practitioner. Despite being diagnosed with osteosarcoma at age 14, she did not give up on her dream and enrolled into Towson University at age 17 with the outlook of becoming a nurse. Sadly, Jude passed away in 2018 at the age of 18. She has been remembered as someone who is a strong competitor. She loved sports, and she loved nearly everyone she met. Upon learning that I had received this scholarship, one in remembrance of such a vibrant, driven, and intelligent young woman, I was truly honored. Jude had a strong love for the profession of nursing, and today and every day, I hope to honor her and her commitment to her dream of caring for others. When I first started nursing school, I was unsure what my calling was in the field. I knew I wanted to be a nurse, but I was not sure what aspect of nursing was for me. I did know, however, that I wanted to gain healthcare experience prior to graduation. So in the spring of 2020, during the height of COVID, I applied for my nursing assistant certificate and began applying to jobs all over the Baltimore area. To this day, I am unsure of how many applications I submitted, but I assume it was over 20 total applications. I only received one call back. The nursing manager of the ICU at the University of Maryland St. Joseph Medical Center reached out to me for an interview. I thought to myself, there is no way I will survive in the ICU, especially in the age of COVID. Shortly before beginning my job at St. Joe's, I had my first ever in-person clinical. I was on a telemetry unit at GBMC, and this experience changed my life forever. The first thing this experience taught me was that I did not want to be a telemetry nurse. The second thing I learned throughout this experience was that I could be an ICU nurse. In fact, I wanted to be an ICU nurse. During my ICU internship, I developed a love for critical care nursing and an admiration for the nurses who have mentored me. Throughout my time working in an ICU, I have witnessed both triumphs and defeats. I have taken care of critically ill patients with COVID-19, which rocked me to my core and humbled me. I have learned so much about the medical and scientific side of critical care nursing, while also learning the importance of holding the hands of the dying as they say goodbye to their family over a video call. I've learned that it takes intelligence and incredible critical thinking skills to perform the role of a critical care nurse, but it more importantly takes a big heart and a willingness to never give up hope. It takes strength, humility, and humanity to walk into a hospital every day and be a critical care nurse, and there is nothing more I want to do than give my brain, my heart, and my life to taking care of the critically ill. Without the support of my clinical instructor and the scholarship opportunity given to me by the Towson University Foundation, I'm not sure I would be where I am today. Since graduating, I've accepted a position as a clinical nurse 1 in the ICU at St. Joe's, and I am currently in my 8th week of orientation. Aside from the amazing opportunities provided to me by the nursing program here at Towson, receiving this scholarship helped me not only realize my goals, but it also took away a financial burden from my family. The Towson University Foundation allowed not only me, but many other students to bear less of a burden in achieving their goals. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Jahar family and all other donors for making our dreams a reality. I will forever be honored to have been given the Jude Jahar Nursing Scholarship, and I will never forget this opportunity. I can wholeheartedly say I am proud to be a TU Tiger. Thank you.